Ah, yes, the American colonies, a place filled with a diverse population, an abundance of natural resources, and a foundation for revolutionary ideas. Surely there can be nothing but success from this area of boundless economic opportunities. Did you see what that British soldier did? Walking into the colony like he owns the place? And he just walks into this poor family's home, stealing their stuff, and kicks that poor man out of his bed and sleeping in it. And he abuses his power by beating them. What a monster. And he just walks into that house and he hits a child. Who does that? Man, what a jerk. The American colonies really need to separate themselves from that empire. If only someone wrote a book or something about making a democracy and splitting off from the Britain. Wait a minute. Hello, my name is Diego Perez, and welcome to my Great Books Project video presentation about the historical novel written by Thomas Paine in 1776, Common Sense. See, Thomas Paine had an issue with many things, and one of those big things being the British, and how they ruled as a monarchy over the Americans. As you saw in my intro, British soldiers didn't treat the Americans very well, and mostly used them for commercial gain. It is the commerce and not the conquest of America by which England is to be benefited, and that would in a great measure continue were the countries as independent of each other as France and Spain, because in many articles neither can go to a better market. The British economically exploited the American colonies as colonists were expected to produce raw materials and export them to Britain, and were also required to import manufactured goods from Britain, limiting their ability to trade freely with other nations. Paine wanted to separate himself from Britain, encouraging his fellow Americans to fight against the British, but once free, how would America be governed? Paine answers this in the form of democracy, vocalizing how society is produced by our wants, and government by our wickedness. The former promotes our happiness positively by uniting our affections, the latter negatively by restraining our vices. The one encourages intercourse, the other creates distinctions. The first is a patron, the last is a punisher. As society gives freedom, government provides restriction. However, Paine delivers democracy as a means of giving society both the freedom to live and the necessary restrictions to keep order. This idea is what gives people the willingness to fight back against the British and develop independence for the American colonies as a whole. This concludes my Great Books project. However, I would like to end on one last quote Thomas Paine gave on the prophetic future of America. America doth not yet know what opulence is, and although the progress which she hath made stands unparalleled in the history of other nations, it is but childhood compared with what she would be capable of arriving at, had she, as she ought to have, the legislative powers in her own hands.